I just been playing with my dog. Day 6 of our lockdown here in Cebu City. Before I go to hi Gladdy, I go to my build site. Oh, what's funny this morning when we wake up, I told my husband that I have a dream that I murdered him and dropped him in our septic tank. And yep, no moaning. Strangely, there's no moaning during breakfast about what he's eating. God, the trick works. So I'm going now to my build site. And what I want to address... Bye-bye, doggies. What I want to address, because there are some people that's thinking that when you have a YouTube channel, you'll be earning a lot of money. Like I said, my YouTube is only a hobby. I don't have Patreon, I don't have PayPal, and I don't even accept gifts nor donations. I have none of that. Like I said, all of this filming I do and sharing with my viewers, if they're interested, is only a hobby of mine. Regards the AdSense earnings, that will cover up my cameras, equipments, and the cost of uploading. So, as much as I enjoy doing this, I enjoy doing the filming, meeting with people. This is only a hobby of mine. Now, what I want also to address is the question that I'm told to stay home. I am home. This actual road that I'm walking through is part of my property. I actually own the title on this road because the government built it in the wrong place. That should be there where the hill is. But instead, they build it on people's property. So I'm not walking anywhere else unless I go down in the city. But I'm just still at home, technically. But you can see there's only a few people here. You hardly see people around here. Most of the time they're in their farms. Farms are not stopped to continue. I had a pass that I continue building from our local barangay. So, I'm not really breaking any quarantine because we are not so densely populated here as of the moment. So, going down here now to my budget bungalow build. And I got so many interesting comments. Some of them are funny. Like, funny in a sense that, like, naivety. Naive about how the Philippine construction building works. How your workers, how do you have to hire workers that you can trust and work for your interests? Otherwise, you will be grouped to the foreigners that has shocking experience in the building works here in the Philippines. We are now on day 17. You can see that they're already putting the rebars for the flooring that we're gonna do tomorrow. So you notice that we are using 8mm rebars, but in a very close proximity. Now, I know some of the viewers will be thinking that, oh, it's not gonna do any strength. You gotta remember the properties of this matting is to prevent cracking of the cement slab. So, you can see that we have put boulders underneath as foundation for the flooring. Yesterday, we've broken some of the boulders to spread it about. And that's the strength that holds the flooring. The matting that we do in this very close proximity, which is 20 by 20 mm, is only to prevent the cement cracking. So tomorrow will be an exciting day because we will be pouring this whole slab. We will also be putting the partition verticals ready. So the 4 workers are on here. 2 old men and 2 young men. So I'm going around to show you the extent of what they're doing. So this is day 17. So later I'll be counting how many rebars has been used. Then we'll give you the right expense for today, including the labor. So they have used 82 holes, 8 mm rebars for the whole thing, and 5 kilos of tire wire. Now, I gotta address this other comment about he will not hire my workers when he build his house in the Philippines because their block work is not the thing that passes grade. Well, this is a budget bungalow, like I answered in his comment. And if you want to have the block work so in line, because you don't, what's the intention? You're trying to expose the block work, no render, because this is the block work here are hollow blocks. They are just receptacle for your rebars and the mix of cement. They are not load bearing. The load bearing is the columns and the tie beams. But if you plan to build a house to expose the block work, then you need more than a budget bungalow. Maybe you plan your house to be like that. No rendering. Look at the old house. Just expose the blocks. That's why you want it straight and nice without rendering. But you can see this will be still rendered. And so the block work here, building in the Philippines, is just a receptacle to hold the rebars and the muck. And in regards to my workers, you will soon discover when you start building your house that it's hard to find builders that work for your interest. Usually, it's their own interest. Now, I will tell you a story. There is a woman that's married to a German, and they're building a guest house in the beach area in the north. She's crying when she was telling me that when they were pouring the beach house, he was there looking at the 10 mm rebars. Of course, he has to use the best. Very close proximity. Only want the best. Then later, he left because they're pouring it. And it's still a big slab. He has to go get something. So he left them pouring on the steel matting that she saw on the floor. Then she forgot something in the build set that she has to turn back and get something. And there, she saw it in her very own eyes. The rebars, the matting that was used on the slab was pulled out. The pour was stopped. They're pulling out all the rebars for themselves. That's the builders doing that. And now she's suing the foreman and the rest of the builders for that. But still, it's going on forever. And all she got now is a slab with no rebars underneath, just what's been filled in there, just rocks and gravel, sand and gravel. So that's the lesson. It's hard to find workers here that will work for your interests, workers that you can trust. So do not tell me about you will not hire my workers because I will not be even let you borrow them from me. So I wish you best of luck. And for those people already experienced how it is to build in the Philippines, it's even hard to get the materials that you're used to in your country. You have to work with what is the materials available here. You cannot just say, oh, I'll build this, I'll build this. You have to have a higher budget, of course. Look at that link I have shown you. That's my castle that I build. I have to incorporate my rebars imported from Russia because I want the best. the best. If you don't limit your budget, you can have the best, but you will also start importing it yourself. But like I said, this is a budget bungalow build. I have built several houses with different grade, with different budget. So you always work around your budget, and like I said, it's hard to find workers that go and work with you with your own interests, not for their own self-interest. And that's what I learned. You need to have the good workers with you before you can make your work successful. And next project that I'm gonna do, that is not gonna be a budget bungalow, so you will be seeing a different grade. So what you're hearing in the background is radio drama, which is the entertainment of the old couple, like the old times. They're not into television, they're into the radio drama. So we're almost done. So what we're gonna do is just do all the vertical, ready for the partition, ready for the separation of the toilet. And some will be doing the sacking of the sand and gravel, ready for tomorrow. So this is the look that we have now, using 82 rebars and 5 kilos of tire wire. They will be putting like rocks underneath to raise up the matting so the cement can go underneath the cement tomorrow. So the tying up of the rebars and the tire wires have been done. So what they're gonna do this afternoon is to lay out, put some rocks in certain corners to lift up the whole matting, and put the vertical for the partition and the toilet. So we are now on break, 12 o'clock, and they'll be back about 1 o'clock. I'm on my way going to the building site, but I want to address some of the comments. That's why I have addressed some of it this morning, and I got another one on the day 14 build telling me that you just don't encroach. The sidewalk is not your property. Strong words. Did you get permission from the local authorities? I own the sidewalk and I own the road. It's the authorities, the government, build this road in the wrong side. They should be on the other side. I got the torrents titled issued to my name on both properties, so I'm not encroaching anything. It's the government who's encroaching on my property. So if you see that this is not just a sidewalk, I purposely leave this for my garden when I was building my house. This is not government owned, and this road, I have a title for this one under my name. The government road is on the other side, but they haven't built it there because they have the convenience of just using people's land to build the road without compensation. We are waiting for compensation for years, but it never happened. So I, and the other people that own part of the road on their land continue to pay taxes on this property that we can drive, everyone drive, but we are the one paying private taxes for this. So, sorry, you have to just don't assume anything that we are breaking the law, because I know what I'm doing. I own this part, and in fact, I'm planning to put like a wall or barrier on the side, because now the dump trucks are using this as a backing area on this corner here. I want to dig this all up, level out, because it's this dirt. I want to dig this all out, level up, because it's this dirt that's giving damp on the other side of the wall. And so I want to make it clear, I am not encroaching anything. I own the sidewalk and I own the road. This is our sad predicament here, because the government has built the road on private land without compensation. And so we're losing part of our title, paying taxes all the time, every year. But when you come to sell your land, of course nobody will buy or even pay because it's part of your property for the road lot. Because who will buy a lot that they cannot use? So this is, we're left with this one, part of our private property. We cannot sell, dispose, or use because it's been used by the government as a road. And the thing without compensation. Now, so stop the assumption or anyone to follow suit that I should ask permission, because I should be asking permission to myself. And we have this problem for a long time that the road was built on private lands, and we will be just using it but not blocking the road. Of course, the road is now on public use, although we're paying taxes on it. That is our sad predicament. And so we are here now. I'm here now, on the building site of the budget bungalow. What they're doing there is like taking out some of the soil because it's higher in that corner. So they put back the matting now, because when they level the strings for the flooring, that corner is higher because that's in solid ground, that one there. You got Predo there cutting the rebars for the vertical of the filing between the division of the rooms. So they had a few already pre-cut, so he's just doing some more by hand because it's only a few that he needs. Pila ka buok sa usa ka kuan length, Fred? Upat. So there's 4. He divided the whole length of a rebar by 4. And so that's what they're gonna do now, just put on the vertical for the next line of blocks. So I want to talk about as well is like, I believe in giving people some second chances. I don't want to mention, but you might ask later on, that one of my workers here has been in the can for the capital, one of the capital punishment here, but I don't want to say, but it starts with letter M. But I know about the details of the case, so I just, since he just been out now, he's been doing a good job doing everything, he deserves a second chance, because it's not really his fault. He spent 10 years there, but I believe in giving people a chance to earn a living, and that's how I help people, is giving them a chance to earn a living. I got people that used to order me cows here before. I let the other people, I just give them the contact number, they can contact me, I just arrange, and they can arrange, and they can keep the profit. I don't ask for anything. We even sold about like 100 cows to my contacts from Turkey before, when they used to live here in the Philippines. So that's how I help people, is to give them a chance to earn a living, not just giving handouts, because these people has also a pride in themselves that they have worked hard for their money. So there's an additional 3 10mm rebars for the vertical of the partition that has to be added here. So that will be added to today's expenses after the end of this video. So right now, Old Man Lito and Daloy is sacking the gravel, ready for tomorrow. They also got a few of the sand here. And the old man that is gonna be Given this bungalow already prepared all the water in the blue barrels on the back that will be used tomorrow. Over there you can see the old man Tony is bringing a bucket going that way. That is the water prepared for tomorrow. And we will be moving that mixer over here near the front door, so they will just be climbing on the window opening to go in, because they want the mixer here on the front door, dedicated for the front door, to be easier to just carry it over, because we're gonna start the pour on that corner there and going towards here. You can see the line of strings for the level of the flooring there. So these are all ready now. Sans the verticals for the rebar. So you can see the two old senior citizens, old Tony and old Lito, is working on the water. They're just trying to make the floor wet now, because they want to pour it early tomorrow. So as a tradition as well, when we have a pour during my build on my houses, when it's pouring day, I'll be paying for the lunch and dinner. So I'll be going out, sending them over to the market to buy their food tomorrow, because I'll be paying for that as traditional costs. So these two senior citizens here are always arguing, like just taking a piss from one another. Like old man Tony was saying, I'm looking for a bucket, and then so the old man Lito found a bucket. So why don't you fetch water on that bucket? I'm not just looking for the bucket, it's for you to work on it. So there, all you get is F F F F F. So that's how they talk to one another here, if you just know the language. You can see Fredo here chipping the excess of the pour that they have done on the column, ready for rendering. So look at that thing that they do. They just put a nail on a piece of pipe, and that's what they have to hammer down to chip, use as chipping tool. So they just improvise, like that's the chipping tool. The nail is the one that they hit, and the old pipe is just the handle. That's one of the like tricks that they do if they don't have the tools. Because I used to buy tools around when I start building before, and 9 out of 10 it's lost, busted, or stolen. So only the major one that you can see in my storeroom or in my workshop that I have inventoried and have to check when I get it back. But things like small tools, you expect that to be, there will be pilferage, you expect that to be replaceable. So it's better that there's Lazada now, you can buy all these things cheaper. So we're now ready for tomorrow. So it's now 4:30, and so we are now getting ready, wetting everything, getting ready for the early pour tomorrow. So it's 82 8mm hole that's been used, and 5 kilos of tire wire, and 3 10mm for the dowels has been used and been cut ready. So day 16 have seen 74,589 as running total. That's day 16. So day 17 today, that is the additional cost, will be the labor, 82 pieces of 8mm, 5 kilos of tire wire, and 3 pieces whole rebars cut for the verticals. Old man Lito wetting all the ground. So what they do is just chip the bottom of those columns has been smooth inside to the level of the floor. Thus the smooth will not, the slab will not stick on the smooth concreting. So this is what Old Man Tony told them to do, is to chip off the smooth area of the column. And all the rebars for the dowel is already here. He'll just do that tomorrow because he just want to wet all the ground ready. Him, the two senior citizen, as the one doing it. And they will be arguing again. They're both together now on where the water is. So they're there pitching the water from where all the barrels is. So I bought one of my barrels over, one of the blue ones, because that's what I use to store water for construction. So it will be 4 for tomorrow. 4 barrels is what we need here. I'm here in Barangay Guba buying my traditional meat for the poor tomorrow, because it's become a tradition for us to, that I'll be paying for the dinner and lunch. So might as well buy our vegetables here and other stuff that we need for tomorrow. Bugas di ay dong. Hindi ra ma'am ha. Tapos ito yung pagliwa. So we have like
750.
Dara ma'am.
848.
So that's for their lunch and dinner tomorrow. And we will just
Regular. Ay, nagtagura.
so
Pero mama,
di ko adong.
152 sa kilo ha?
The pork here is 160 per kilo. Yes, it's fresh every day. They just finish it. Bugas na lang. Kanidong dala dong. Ko ano eh. So we go. So we're here in Guba buying our traditional expense for tomorrow. So you can see I was just waiting for the lawyer to get it because it's queuing. So they have the mo nila patron dire. Santo Niño.
Senior na dia, ma'am.
Kani ba birhen sa
Birhen Guadalupe.
oh, so they have like a statue there of the Virgin Mary of Guadalupe, where people are putting candles on prayers there. So we're here in Barangay Guba getting our supplies. But you can see even here it's deserted.